this the song where she says you can kiss my petunias? I think it is, yes. Well, speaking of, why don't you nominate the youth sports volunteer that you know for the Hercules Hero of the Week? Submit your nomination at KSLSports.com/contest and listen every Thursday afternoon to JJ and Alex for the winner. Help us celebrate the efforts of those volunteers in making an impact with the Hercules Hero of the Week, sponsored by Hercules First Federal Credit Union and Beehive Meals.
DJ PK got a couple questions up on our Facebook page. Utah scored 106 points in the first two games. How good is this team? And then we've got the BYU defense. How good are they? They haven't given up a touchdown through two games. How good is the Cougar D?
Well, they ain't going to give up a touchdown this week, too. I can guarantee you that.
Bye week.
Maybe one, possibly two against the East Carolina, whatever they are.
Pirates.
Pirates ain't looking at 40, I can tell you that much. That's a Jimmy Buffett tune. This defense is really good. And you want Utah's offense? Look no further. That's with a U, not an A. Bronco Mendenhall talking about Devin Dampier just 2 segments ago, mentioned him and how prolific New Mexico's offense was last year. Well, all he's done is just bring that to the Wasatch Front. And they explode. Oh, my gosh. I don't think anybody's beaten Utah at Rice-Eccles Stadium this year. Nobody. There, yeah, I said it. And I meant it.
You are something.
I am nothing.
Just free association until you hit on something.
What are you talking about? It's within my heart and my soul.
They got Texas Tech and ASU coming in for the next two.
WW.
All right. Well, if they sweep those two, then.
And then who after that?
Colorado, Cincinnati.
Yeah, that's www.big12champion.com.
K-State.
That's what that is.
K-State's the last home game.
K-State, I mean, they can't even beat the Service Academy.
Most disappointing team in the Big 12, K-State?
Arizona State.
1-2 with a 3-point win over North Dakota. Woo! Just barely.
Yeah, but they almost
out.
have a 3-point loss to Iowa State.
So and the Army. They've been 3-3-point games. They've all been close.
So I think them and the Devils 1-2. It's over. The run for the Devils. Come on. They do this every 40 years. They'll go back to mediocrity. Cam Scadaboo's gone. Best player ever. They got no shot. Can't stop anybody. Can't score. Can't throw. Ugh.
If you had to go with a lock of the week, would you bet on the Utah offense or the BYU defense? Who do you think, from what you've seen?
BYU defense isn't playing this week.
Well, that kind of ruins that.
Just ask me which one is better.
Okay, which one is better?
I think they're both even.
Not a kid. You got a future in television and politics.
Right now,
you can be voted president of TV and combine them both.
I've declined that offer many times. I'm like Jay Hill when What's-Her-Face called.
No, I'm not doing it.
I'm not going up there. I think right now I would say BYU's defense. Because there's a situation where the players that you're counting on had already proven it at this level. Dampier needs to prove it a little bit more. We know the UC Los Angeles of the world, he's just going to eat you alive. He already's done that.
Right. But what's he going to do with the Texas Tech of the world?
And BYU's defense, all the players outside of Batty basically have already been there. And he's gone playing. Who's he playing with? Where is he? I mean, he's gone, right?
Yeah, Batty's with Minnesota.
Okay.
He's on IR right now.
And they bring in, even Tanavasa has already done it. He just moves down the freeway, but he's already done it.
He's playing in the same defense, yeah.
Yes. So you have more of a proven product. Jack Kelly, star. Isaiah Glasker, star.
What are you figuring, at least 3 NFL guys? And probably more?
Well, you got some younger guys, but we're talking about for next year. I don't even think Glasgow is a senior.
He's a redshirt junior.
Yeah, I think that he may go. We'll have to see how that develops. But, I mean, he looks to me like he's an NFL prospect. I don't think that's any great shake to be saying that, the way he moves and plays. So, and Tanavasa, I would think, yeah.
Kelly,
yeah. Kirkland, they talk about. I haven't seen him play for the Cougars yet.
Right. Those three off the top of my head. But then we'll see.
Younger guys.
Yeah.
So they have that opportunity. So right now I would give the edge to BYU's defense, but that is subject to change. Devin Dampier has done nothing to where I said, boy, I didn't see that coming. I saw him play. I've told Ute fans and anybody who ever talked to me about it for weeks and months, this kid's a player, man. He's a difference maker. Now, what he needs to do is do it against better competition. Can he do it? I think he can. Yes, and if he can, I said it all along, Utah fans, go ahead and think about winning the conference. Completely and totally reasonable to me. And then we'll see if they do, who they would play in the conference final. I think if they get there, they would play either Texas Tech or Iowa State. I would give the edge right now to Iowa State. I picked Iowa State. I'm not backing off.
Neither are the voters in the poll. They are the highest-ranked team in the conference right now.
Yeah.
With ASU's loss, they're
and that's sort of who cares really a little bit there. But
I did see
it's reflective of quality teams, though.
They've played two good opponents, whereas other people have played
absolutely.
0 or 1.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
So you got to give it to them for that.
I do.
Plus, there was already the preseason expectation that this is who they were. So there is that built into it.
If I say Iowa State, then you know they must be good.
Clearly.
Because of all the people in the conference, I value my opinion the most.
This is such a 9 o'clock version of you.
It's the truth.
You threw a fourth team in a previous conversation, but you didn't mention it here. I don't know if you've mentally backed off or just haven't thought of them because they're on a bye week. TCU. You thought it was a big 4 now. We were talking how it was a big...
No, I think if you include TCU, it's 5.
Who else are you throwing in?
Well, I got Texas Tech.
Yes.
Iowa State.
Sure.
Utah.
Yep.
BYU.
Okay.
TCU. And TCU's only played one game. I have no idea about North Carolina. I know there was a lot of hubbub. I get that because of Bill Belichick and his 24-year-old girlfriend and all that crap. But
we don't follow the ACC.
The only time I paid
players.
attention to North Carolina was that game. I won't pay attention to them again.
Right.
Right. I just don't care. And I don't have enough time.
Unless they win bigger than we think.
But my salary comes on the Big 12.
Utah and BYU. Right.
Yes.
Utah State, Big 12. We know what you're watching.
Yes.
And that's more games now with these 16-team leagues. I mean, we were doing the show when there were 8 teams in the Mountain, 9 teams in the Mountain West, and there were only 4 games to watch. And Utah and BYU were already playing 2 of them, so it wasn't that hard to track down the other 2.
But if TCU is your 5th team in the conference, you got a good conference. I'm talking about one of the ushers at Rice Eccles Saturday afternoon. He's been there for years. I go out on the field at the end of the game. If I see him, he sees me, we talk. Big fan. Love talking to the guy. Right? Comes up to me, and we're talking about the conference. We're talking about every week in a conference. And once we get to that, we still got another bit to go. But once we get there, it's going to be super fun. Every week. Nothing in my mind has changed as far as overall the competitive nature of this conference. But I'm also not ruling out, those 5, I'm not ruling out other teams. I'm not ruling out Baylor. I'm not ruling out Colorado. I'm not ruling out the Sun Devils.
Kansas?
I'm definitely not ruling out Kansas.
They went back and forth with Missouri.
Healthy, they have talent. The guy's a great coach over there. Look at his track record, Leipold. He's done it a million times. This is what he does, man. There's a lot of buzz, new stadium. What did they get, a $300 million endowment, was it? Some outrageous, and the guy had already was Booth is his name. He'd already previously donated $50 million. I wish my last name was Booth. I wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Be on a beach somewhere with your toes in the sand.
I'd be on hole 6 or 7 at Pebble Beach. My wife went in there once. What's your green fee? $750. What's your twilight? $750. Okay, thank you.
We're not paying $1,500 for the two of us to golf.
I know. I have the blessing and curse of her being an avid golfer is everything would be double. See, you're fortunate that when you go to Pebble, honey will just go have a latte.
She'll be in a cafe somewhere.
Yeah. She'll be having latte, visiting with friends and other high rollers. You, A, have the money, and honey don't golf. So it only cost you $7, was probably more now. This was several years back. We had a family member living in the area, and we were there. So with that in mind, yeah, I need one of these guys. I don't need any more coaches texting me, hey, I'm standing at the first tee at Pebble Beach. I don't need that anymore. I need, you want to come stand with me at the first tee at Pebble Beach?
Pebble Beach green fees are $675 per player for the 2025-26 season, plus an additional $55 cart fee for non-resort guests. However, you're required to book a minimum 2-night stay at the Pebble Beach Resort with nightly rates starting around $1,000 to secure a tee time in advance.
I ain't got that kind of cabbage. But Booth has it, and he's giving it to Kansas.
So they're in the mix.
Kansas is definitely in the mix, man. I don't think it's changed. You may have rearranged the order, but the level, the depth of the conference and the quality, I haven't seen anything that says, oh, man, we need to make major changes here. Maybe K-State has been a disappointment. I get it. But only we're going on a win and a loss. Losing by 3 in Ireland, to me, is not disappointing. That's a loss, and it sucks, but it's not like, oh, my gosh, that's something that I just didn't see coming. Someone was going to win that game, and I wasn't going to eliminate either. But now you got the other, the Big Sky team you barely beat, and then other Big Skies. That's
not Big Sky.
No, it's
FCS.
That's who'd they play?
They played North Dakota.
Right. And
not State, North Dakota.
Right. And so it's not the best or the better of the two, blah, blah, blah.
They're not. They're a ranked FCS team. But nonetheless.
And
now they've lost to Army by 3.
Yeah, I get it. And so that's disappointing here. But they still only have one conference loss. When you start at this point, I need you to get to 3 before I eliminate you. Although if you start 0-2 in the conference, I'm assuming you're not going to go. Yeah.
The team we have not talked about that has piqued my interest, and I have not watched them play one snap of football because there's just too many games all at once. But maybe need to at least go out and find some highlight packages here on YouTube here. What about Houston? 27-0 over Stephen F. Austin, 35-9 over Rice. It's not good quality competition, but it's a program that has been good in the past, and if they are back and they are really good, they should be dominating these teams. Well, they've outscored them 62-9. They're dominating these teams.
I have a little cautiousness. I would throw in dark horses. I would put ahead of them Arizona and Cincinnati.
And I can see why you would say that. Cincinnati's a little all over the map here in just 2 games, huh?
But I think
expected more against Nebraska. They beat Bowling Green.
They kind of hurt themselves against Nebraska. I do think that any given week, those teams can get hot and they can beat you. So beating those teams, particularly if you go to Tucson, which BYU will do, I think, on the 11th of November, or going to Cincinnati and win, go ahead and shuck and jive in the locker room and enjoy it, because that's a nice win.
Teams we can dismiss at the bottom of the conference: Oklahoma State, West Virginia.
Well, West Virginia had a bad loss to Ohio, obviously, and then Oklahoma State seems like I'm a man. I'm about to be unemployed.
That does look like where it's going.
Yeah.
Took a pay cut last year. Yeah.
You were
60.
Oregon treated you like you were an FBS team.
They FCS, but yes.
I always get that confused.
I know.
Why
They should have
can't we just
stayed
go-
with 1AA.
Yeah.
It was so much easier to handle.
Right.
Very clear cut.
To me, what is it? FBS?
Bowl subdivision is the better one. FCS, championship subdivision, is the Weber State level.
Right.
With the 63 scholarships.
Right. What I'm getting at is that when I looked at Oklahoma State's performance, that definitely was FBS.
I see what you're doing there. Slow to the party, but I'm there now.
I'm gonna get this party started. Yeah, that was a joke, man. That's sad.
But the Utah offense and the BYU defense should keep them in that top group. Both of those teams. That's what we've learned. Despite the lack of quality of competition that they both had. I mean, they both played Power 4 teams that look like they're destined to finish at the bottom of their respective conferences. And they've both beaten FCS teams.
Right.
So, great. You got your Big Sky win, and you've beaten the very bottom of the Power 4. That's what you've both done.
Which I expected all along.
Yeah. And everybody thought you're going to be 2-0 out of the gate.
I think both of them will be 3-0.
Yes. Although now in different weeks, but I get your point. The bye will have their records offset.
I got it.
But they'll win their next games regardless.
Right.
Sail through the non-conference, and here we go.
Yeah. And then, right. That's the point I'm making is that they will be both 3-0 through the non-con, and then it's on. And it's on for both right away.
Home to Texas Tech for the Utes, at Colorado for the Cougars. Yeah. I'm very interested in both of those games. Sign me up.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm hoping that the Texas Tech game for Utah gets a real prime spot in the TV lineup. That would be something that the TV networks would not wait and put it at 8:30 at night and put it a great fall day in the afternoon at Rice Eccles against two teams that I expect to be undefeated. I really don't think it gets better.
There are a couple other good games that week, but there's enough good TV slots that they should slide into one of them.
But in terms of promoting what the University of Utah is about, it's absolutely stunningly gorgeous.
Yep. Florida's playing Miami that week. Auburn's playing Oklahoma that week.
Well,
but Auburn, Oklahoma is going to be on ABC, probably 1:30 or prime time, one or the other. And that's Utah, Texas Tech isn't going there, so not really competing with them for a time slot.
Right. Maybe 6 o'clock. You still have some daylight that time of year. Would be fine. But to accentuate the beauty that the Wasatch Front has in that stadium needs to be in the daytime. Because once you get into the nighttime, it looks like every other stadium in the world.
Could be 1:30 on Big Fox.
And that would be the most ideal. The place would be rocking. The sun will be out. You look to the south, you see the Wasatch Mountains and the press box. Even the other day, I was up there Saturday, right? And I look out, and I'm just the game. I'm standing there waiting for the elevator. The game is long since over, but there's still time on the clock. So I go out by the elevators, and I'm looking towards the west, and the sun is reflecting off the water. That's just absolutely gorgeous, man.
It really is.
Yeah.
And we've both been up there when you see the national people, like they'll come out of the booth if ESPN's broadcasting the game, and they'll just walk straight across and they'll stand at that window and they'll look out, city, mountain, lake, just stunning.
It really is, yeah.
And you know that these are guys who are actually, I think the first time I saw that, I think it was Tarico and Herb Street doing a weeknight Thursday or Friday game or something, maybe back in the Urban Meyer era even. And you're like, okay, these guys are in probably 2 stadiums a week for 3 straight months. But this is the one where they gawk. they just gawk.
Yeah, that's my goal and my wish for them is both these teams win. Texas Tech, Utah, have it be undefeated. buzz for the conference.
Texas Tech has Oregon State, which it doesn't look like is going well there. I think they've been hit hard by the transfer portal in this Pac-2 era.
Yeah.
So Tech at home.
They got undercut.
Right. And Tech at home, that ought to be another big win.
Right.
Tech will come in probably 3-0 and untested. And they've won 67-7.
I don't think Utah will be tested.
62-14. Yeah, it'll be same storylines.
Right.
3-0, and how good are you really? You're good, but are you very good or are you great?
Devin Dampier last year against Wyoming for New Mexico put up 40-something. So I'd expect the same thing. Obviously, I think it was like 49-45 or something. I have to look it up. But just recalling from watching that game last year, that I wouldn't expect Wyoming's offense to have that level of success. So I absolutely expect that it's going to be a situation where they roll into it and they're flying high. And the Utah offense will have a ton of confidence. They will have not been punched in the mouth at all. There'll become a time, I don't think they're going to breeze through 12 games, but not yet. Not in the non-conference.
Devin Dampier ran for 200 yards against Wyoming last year, 207.
Right.
That is ridiculous quarterback.
No, I watched the game.
That.
I saw it.
Yeah,
I know. I saw what he did.
DJ and PK, it's 97.5 The Zone. Everything you missed in this show next. Stay with us.
Hey, bro.
You hear us every day with our crazy opinions.
Hey, what you doing?
Well, now it's time to hear from you.
Hey, great show.
Download the KSL Sports app and fire off your thoughts with the call-in tab on the bottom of your screen.
This show is fantastic. It's the one that captivates me the most.
You can tell PK to stop singing.
G-Bang!
Let Jake and Ben know what you really think of the Jazz. Woo! Tell Hans and Scotty about your favorite barbecue spot or what color of tie JJ should be wearing on TV. The best entries will be played on the air. Download the KSL Sports app now and hit the call-in button to let your voice be heard.
I think you guys do an incredible job.
This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Slacker Radio Headlines brought to you by Trajan Wealth. Call Trajan Wealth today, your local trusted financial fiduciary, 801-899-7600. Visit the website at trajanwealth.com. We talked to Bronco Mendenhall earlier in the show. You Aggie fans can get that wherever you get your podcasts. We also spoke with Riley Jensen, college football expert, mental performance coach. He broke down Bear Bachmeier, things he did right, things he didn't do right. Said, as you would expect from a freshman, it varied play to play. One play, there was a great read, great throw over the middle. Riley was very impressed. Very next play, took a sack, moved him out of field goal position. Oops.
Oh, crap.
But speed of the game, decisions have to be made more quickly. They aren't all going to be made correctly.
Yeah, it's not even close to a perfect game, obviously, but I think we have to give Stanford's defense a lot of credit. They're a pretty good defense. And so that was a nice test. It was a nice growing opportunity that he needs to have in order to get better. So if there's some level of dismay, okay, fine, but those are things that are going to pay off. It's a question of, what is the level of pain in the middle do you have to pay? If you win, well, zero. Right? As long as you win the game, that's what matters the most. And so how much will his struggle, his growing situation affect the score? The final score. Because if it doesn't affect the final score at all, in terms of winning and losing, then that's the best of both. He's getting this experience. He has to go through it. It's just something you literally have to go through. But yet, if they're still winning, great. And then, wow, great. That's the best of both. Have them learn and then get better, too.
Yeah, the only reason people talk about learning is difficult is because that learning usually leads to losses.
I understand that. We had that last year with Isaac Wilson.
Right.
They started out 4-0. I'm thinking, wow, the world is their oyster. I was right there. And then everything fell apart. And they didn't win again until literally the last game of the season. I would have, my gosh, there would have been no way I would have said that. But yet that's what we had. And I'm not projecting or predicting, if you want to combine them both, the result for the Utes that the Utes had last year for the Cougars. I don't know. There could be enough stumble that you don't get out of there with wins. And my guess is they're going to lose 2 to 3 games in the league, which actually I think for a freshman quarterback, if you went 9-3, 6-3, that would be pretty doggone good. You're not probably going to win it. I get it. But it would still be pretty sweet.
Given that there aren't teams in this league with a major advantage as far as, money, tradition, brand, facilities, all that stuff.
Yeah, I think Texas Tech has that.
Texas has the money, not the other stuff, but they got the money.
Well, I think it has the facilities. I mean, they got that
the projection thingy where you can do the
right. It's virtual. They can learn
virtual reality, getting snaps in the spring without getting hurt.
And you look at the kids that they're recruiting; they're getting 5-star guys all over the place.
The only teams that can get to the top of the league and stay to the top of the league, your Oklahomas, Ohio States, Bama, and Georgia. The only really ones that can string together all these conference titles. SC did it 20 years ago. So if a team has a big year and then follows it up with a 9-3, that's probably about as good as it's going to get.
With a freshman.
Yeah, with a freshman. You're right. But even if it were ASU, who was 9-3 this year.
Well, he's only a sophomore. I think if it's a junior to senior, so you could argue if they had Retzlaff, junior to senior, that's a different story. Mm-hmm. But freshman to sophomore, high school senior to freshman, that's another story. There. I wouldn't mind having Levitt struggle a couple more games, and so then he has to come back for next year and not be this all-world first-round pick. That's not bad. Well, it's not bad for the program because they got this hot shot coming in that I've read about, and then he can come in next year and not have to be under the pressure to play. So then when his time comes, he'll be that much more advanced.
Line up all these all-world hot shots, one after another.
Yeah. Whereas if Levitt has all that, next year might be a downer. I guess you would be able to experience the good times this year, but you want to experience good times every year. That's what a program is about. That's what Utah has proven that they are. And BYU, I think under that scenario, I think they're on the way, having an opportunity to prove that. It's all brand new in the conference, the money available, blah, blah, blah. But when they're sure talking up a good game, man. Keep saying it. Santiago saying it. The president of the university. You can feel the momentum walking around campus. I got to walk around campus, see if I can feel the momentum. Because they're sure talking about it. The level of positivity that is throughout the athletic program, I think is at an all-time high.
Yes, I totally get that. It is.
The women's sports, by and large, have been pretty good. Basketball has been a little struggle here. I get that. And hopefully for them, they can
volleyball's
get
been crushing it. Soccer's been really
cross
good.
Country, they run the titles all over the place.
Cross country's got the national titles there. They got the
right. So that's there. And I think with football doing what they did last year, and then Kevin Young, the positivity and the money that's available is just incredible. And we got to get that baseball program doing a little bit better. Hopefully for BYU and Utah, they both can do it. Utah's got the new stadium opening. We see it every time we go by there. And can that be something that can help them? If you're going to have a program, you got to try to win. Because you're not trying to win, what's the point of having a program? And I get the weather is not advantageous, but other cold places have done it too. So
Oregon State's won it all, and Corvallis isn't exactly Malibu.
Right. So away you go as far as that goes. So we'll see if that can there. But the level of positivity that is rushing through the athletic program, I don't think has ever been better. And that's really cool for them.
Utah's got the 21st ranked defense in points per game, 9.5. Right, they've only given up the 1 TD. BYU's number 1 at 1.5. Now, for Utah to have a top 20 defense, we've seen it before. We'll see it again. It's not surprising. It is who they are. It's the brand. It's all that stuff. BYU at number 1, that's a little bit of an eye-opener right there. You thinking it's top 20 at the end of the year, top 10, given that these stats are funky because there's such a small sample size and so many teams?
Well, I think, what does the offense do? If the offense puts them in good position, then I think the defense will be fine. And they can be in a top 10 statistically.
You're thinking, but turnovers, short fields,
right.
And the scoring per game. If you give up points while the defense on the sidelines, special teams, offense, pick sixes.
Yeah, so I have to see how all that plays out. But the good thing here is minimally for BYU's offense is take care of the ball. Minimally. I want more than that because I think that if your whole design is to take care of the ball, then you can do that. You don't need to throw you just don't need to throw the ball. If you don't want interceptions, then don't throw the freaking ball. Mm-hmm. But I want more than that. And so far, the offense hasn't put the defense in a bad position. Now I realize it's not great competition, but Stanford's defense I think is good competition. I've got no problem saying that. I mean, we can crap on Stanford's program all we want, but I think defensively they're decent.
Mostly we're talking about the offense and their inability to move the ball and score points.
Oh, yeah, you can see it.
The similarities between them and Utah last year, it's probably not a perfect match, but it's also not that far off.
No, the difference being that Gil Branson has a lot of experience and Isaac Wilson had 0.
But if Stanford's out there losing 17-14 games and reminding you of Utah last year, you won't be surprised. But you're right. They're not doing it with a true freshman who was slated to be a backup and had everything put on his shoulders.
And a true freshman that they jacked around. They didn't give him the first-team reps. They
didn't give him the first-team reps early. He had to change offensive coordinators in the middle of the season.
Right.
We can go on and on.
I mean, we're standing there looking at Oklahoma State. Who's going to start? What is that? What do you expect there?
They got a W. But you're right.
Well, Oklahoma State played 2 or 3 quarterbacks in that game. They didn't know who was on first either.
DJ and PK, it's 97.5 The Zone. When we come back, your feedback next. Stay with us. Time for your feedback. Utah, 106 points in the first 2 games. How good is this team? Tyler, they are not good at all, actually.
They suck.
Hey, go ahead and guess what his avatar is.
BYU Blue.
There it is with Cosmo's head and the cap on at a jaunty angle and letters BYU across the top. U State Iceman. It's good enough to score 107 points or more. Jack thinks they've underachieved a little bit. Stuck on 106 points through 2 games.
Well, you could tell there wasn't the intensity there that they had in the Rose Bowl at Rice Eccles last week. And why should there be?
They knew they were going to win.
Yeah. I don't want them at an emotional peak in a game like that anyway.
You waste all that energy.
Right.
G-Man. Really won't know until Texas Tech on the 20th, but we do know it's a huge difference from last year. Freshman quarterbacks can only get you so far, and usually it's not that far. P.S. What is PK's handicap?
My attitude.
Ha-ha! All that negativity, huh? Dragging you down?
I just don't give out personal information.
That's just too private.
Right.
BYU hasn't given up a touchdown through 2 games. How good is this defense? BYU's defense looks legit so far. BYU has literally played no one in 2 games. That is not a good assessment.
From the offensive perspective, they haven't. Stanford bites offensively. So I agree with that.
Tyler, it's probably the greatest defense ever assembled. Nice, Tyler.
I think I needed about another half a game before I can say that. Maybe only a quarter. Don't discount it based on opposition. I think it has a chance to be really good. The best, certainly the best since Jay Hill has been here, which is only the start of his 3rd season. But yeah, they've got some playmakers there.
Scott says we won't know until they play a decent team. UCLA appears to be a pretty bad team after losing to UNLV, and Cal Poly's not much of a test. Uh-oh, here it comes, CK. Brace yourself.
What?
I am cautiously optimistic, Scott says. However, that's what we've seen. However, what we've seen is sustainable. I've just been burned too many times with quick starts against bad teams, but go Utes. He's been burned too many times.
I mean, if you're a fan and you've been burned, I can see where you're going to be reluctant. I'm not that level of fan. So, but if you are, and most of our folks are, I can see you want to spare yourself the pain. I get that if it turns out to be that situation. Yeah.
I don't feel like they've been burned that many times.
The Utes?
Way more success.
Sure they have.
Last 20 years, a couple of undefeated seasons, 4 Pac-12 title games. A lot of times there's optimism and it's justified. They end up having a big year.
Yeah, but there was a bunch of times they'd get to November, couldn't get the job done. I can remember for them,
a UCLA home game comes to mind.
They went to Washington, and it was an afternoon game, and they won that game. And Washington is a long walk towards the lake to get into the locker room, right? And a staff member, I don't want to give up names, we're walking because I'm on the field, and the guy comes right
You're
up to me.
walking for the press conference, which is over by the
we're all
locker room.
walking.
Right. I know that, but I just know
Okay.
people know that.
And
Right.
and a lot of times they'll chat with me. I'm a familiar face, and they know I'm not going to expose them to anything that they don't want out there. And he says to me, in the past, we lose this game. This was a big game for them in the Pac-12, winning on the road at a quality team, against a quality team in a place where just I think the last time they were there, they
muffed the end of the game, just made a mess of it.
Another staff member had a clipboard, slams it on his knee, and it goes shattering because that was a devastating loss. So
that was
if
when
you're a fan, you remember these things.
Right. But that was when they were building and made the move from being the 9-win team that was 6-3 and had to watch the conference title game to being the team you win that game, and that puts you over the top, and now you're in the title
Okay,
game.
but they also have a 2-game losing streak to BYU.
They do. They do. You got me there.
And that stuff matters to fans.
Oh, man. Way more than you and I. It just eats them up.
Their vaunted defense needed to stop.
And didn't get it.
Didn't get it. Now they will scream the referee, blah, blah, blah. Right. Okay, the referee gave you the first down. He didn't give you 50 yards of field position.
Yeah, BYU's given up no touchdowns. Utah's only given up 1 touchdown. The rivalry
Yeah, but
in all
0
things.
is better than 1, so ha, 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 ha. And a large portion of that is the defensive coaches, one of which is Chad Kaha.
I think we're done now. DJ and PK coming up next. It's Jake and Ben right here on The Zone.